this surface by simulating in Kangaroo, one of the things that we have to just keep in mind, it's very similar to what we did in the first task, which was about like the line. So we define the relationship between 2 points, and the line between the 2 points is going to be defining this, like how the force is going to be applied. So we are going to use multiple different things, including like deconstructing the mesh, creating some so let me just go back here. Yeah. So deconstructing the mesh, finding the points or vertices, finding the lines, and also once we have that, then we define the anchor points and relationship between these points. So let's go to Grasshopper, and let's start our work by creating a mesh plane. So this mesh plane is becoming our like a set point for how we are going to form our structure. So if I go back here, it's just the very basic forms that you see here. Now, once we have that, we obviously, because it's just one surface, we're looking for the elements on it. Like, for example, the lines, we're looking for the vertices. So we are going to use from the Weaverbird, we are using the Weaverbird edge. And we connecting the mesh to that. So we're using the Weaverbird mesh right there. Now, that part is becoming an input for for our relationship between like lines or length of the line. So we're going to go to Kangaroo, and here we are going to use the length of the line and placing it here. So that will be our like a pieces that's going to define the line. So if you look at my like a surface now, the surface right now is like a all the like a lines is defined. So that's going to be connecting to the line itself, and then for the length, we are going to use the line length, which is the length, measuring the length of the curve, making sure that you're using the right one. And then we're getting the output from the Weaverbird edge, and either we can connect them directly to the length, or we can use the multiplication and give it some parameters eventually. So we're going to put multiplication here. That's going to be our length, and then we give a factor, let's say a factor of 1. And that factor of 1 is going to the multiplication here. That goes into the length. Okay, so that's our first goal that we set. Now, the other things that we want to define is basically the load on each of those points that we have. So we are going to first deconstruct this mesh, right? So that's going to be our deconstruct mesh, and then connecting the mesh to that deconstruct in order to get our vertices. So if you look at back here, I got all the vertices here. Now I can add the load on each of these vertices. So I will add loads using the loads on goal setting, putting it here, and then giving the load to each of those vertices. Now, for the load, we need to give the direction, right? We need to give a direction. The direction, because it's a flat surface, is going to be z, because we are just using the gravity. So with z unit added to this, and we either can basically use a negative in order to flip the z direction, or we can use a minus on the factors that we give here. So I'm going to use the -1 and then put that into the value of the load. All right, so far we get loads on each of these points. Now it's time to place this anchor points. So finding the anchor points requires to do a couple of different things, and one of the things is that we are going to find the points on the corner of this mesh. So for now, we are using the mesh corner, or MC, and then connecting the mesh into that component. So what I get outcome is going to be the points on each of these corners, right? So let's bring the anchor, and then here on the anchor we just use these anchor points here. All right. Now, all I need right now is just, now that I have the goal setting ready, is just merging all these goals, and then once I have those goals, I just put them into like the simulator. Before doing that, we know by fact that whatever we do when we are putting in a Kangaroo simulation, we have to use the show component, which is this one here, in order to see the outcome of our simulation. So I'm gonna bring the show into my like a canvas, and connecting the mesh, the first mesh surface that we create, and connecting it to this show here. Now, for this, we're gonna use merge, similar to what we did last time, and we're gonna connecting them to this merger. Merge, and then make sure that all these goals that we connected to the merger, we are flattening once we connect them. Later on, I'm going to show you another way of combining all these goal sets. Okay. And now once I have that, then we can easily connect them to the simulation to see the result. So here I'm going to use a solver. And for the solver, I need two things. One, so I use this solver here, the solver, the Kangaroo solver. And then here, I need a bottom to resetting whatever simulation I do. So I'm going to connect that here. And then I use Boolean value, let's say, toggle, to make sure if I want to turn on and off the simulation. So that's connected to this last one, basically, that's what it does. And now, once I have that, I can just connect everything to the goal object. Right now, it's going to give you a pause because I put that and I'm just clicking on true, and then I reset, and then I'll go back to see the simulation result. So now I have the surface that is by own weight, it's kind of deflected and shaped.